Says we are live, but can anybody hear us out there? Anybody hear us? We are popped up on YouTube, so we are good to go. All right, episode 26, I believe. Sitting here with the man that not only is the overall Reaper Award winner for 2024, but also the Junket Minis Championship. Dalton Weismiller, how the hell are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Um, you know, first day back to work today. It kicked my ass a little bit, but only up from here. So,
Yeah.
uh, let's touch a little bit about 2024. Uh, Usually the Reaper Awards don't finish very well. How the hell did you manage to pull both of them off? And not only both of them off, but at our last show at Gaston, two official Reapers and one unofficial Reaper because one of our sponsors, Nick, come out and he told the world side when it was Junket versus the World, hey, I got $100 bill for whoever kicks their ass the worst. And you end up winning that $100 bill. So three Reapers, one's unofficial because we didn't actually throw it up, but one of the sponsors did, and boy, you put a beating on them.
Yeah. Then the 2024 season, that was one of the best seasons we had. It was probably actually first full season driving for Kevin Ravenstein with GFAB. He's gave me some good equipment to be able to run with this year. Uh, we knew last year we came in second or third, I believe, for the first junket uh, shows. So we wanted to come out this year and try to bring home a championship, and luckily we came home with two. The year just kind of set. I mean, it just depended on the show. Some
Yeah,
shows we were there towards the end, and then there was some shows we were kind of outnumbered. So I just decided to start laying down the hammer and just making big hits. I mean, it's kind of one of those things you had to make a choice whether we going for some money or are we going to try to bring home a pile of junk. I
right.
mean, most of the stuff we had held together real well. We were experimenting with new things, just trying out parts and stuff like that. So the only way to find out if they work is to actually put them through the test.
Yeah, yeah. So at the very beginning, you was strictly a Honda guy, and then somehow, some way, you got the slug bug, which a lot of people like. It turned a lot of heads. And then when you got hooked up with GFAB, it seemed like you went to Camrys. If you was to say
Yeah.
right now, what is your favorite car? What would it be?
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you. That Slug Bug was probably my absolute favorite car. That thing's still alive today. I think it's been through 9 shows and a rage race at least.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, on the rage race, you lost a wheel and it damn near took me out at the flagpole. The wheel come
Yeah,
flying past me.
it's probably from the solid suspension going around that big corner. It just
Yeah,
finally ripped the studs right out of it and sent it on down the road.
right, right.
That thing actually might make an appearance again at a couple of shows this year. Just depends on how things go. We got a couple things to fix on it. That'll be for Sean Carroll. He likes that car.
I tell you, it turns a lot of heads. It's not a car that you see every day derbied. Um, and looking underneath the hood of that thing, one thing that comes to mind again is you had to have some kind of fluid trap on some kind of sensor, and I believe it was in a pop bottle, and you shoved it down in it and taped the shit out of it just so it could register off the flood. Is that correct?
Yeah, so yeah, it was actually one of those bug juice bottles just to make it even
Yep.
better.
That's funny. That's funny.
Uh, we end up, I did probably 2 months of research on those things because we end up, me and Kevin got the idea because we saw Dawson West brought one and put one of his buddies in it back a year before then.
Hmm.
So we seen how well it did, but we never got to see in the feature because the security system took over.
Yeah.
And I know that thing was a little tank with
Yep.
those light build rules that you had at that time.
Yep.
So me and him was pondering. It's like, if we get the chance to find one for a decent price, we'll build one. Excuse me. But fortunately, I had a guy at work. He's like, "Hey, my brother's got one sitting out in the back of his field. Come get it for $250, and it runs and drives."
Nice.
I was like, "Done deal." So as soon as I went and got that thing, I gave Kevin a call. I was like, "Hey, this is what we get to build this year. Let's just build it the way this thing is gonna be nasty for everything."
It definitely turned a lot of heads. You got shirts made with it on there. Slug bug, no tag backs, and it was I don't want to make your head swell anymore, but you kind of broke the internet a little bit with it. At least around here in Delaware County and surrounding counties, everybody knows about it. They love it.
Oh yeah, trust me, it's kind of one of those that went across the nation. I've had all kinds of people message me like, "Hey, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? What do you like?" There, I had all kinds of people blowing up my Facebook Messenger and stuff like that, asking questions for it.
Yep.
Especially after we took it to the Turkey Derby,
Right.
that would be in a national show. That kind of blew it up even
Right.
more.
Right. Yes. All right. A little bit of introduction. Uh, we kind of got off way down the list, but hey, it's fine. We just go with the flow around here. 98X is your number, and you go by the nickname Underdog. It's usually on your car. How did you come up with 98X and the nickname Underdog?
So the 98X goes back to my grandpa's late model racing days. He had a mid 70s Camaro, that white and green, and that car there had always stuck in my head, and
Mm-hmm.
it had a 98X on it, and that is just what I've always went after. The underdog, that came out as just something I thought of because it's there for a while. I was always going to derbies by myself, so I
Yep.
always considered myself to be the underdog coming to any kind of a show.
Yep.
That was just something that I put together and just what I've ran by since then.
It is definitely hard when you don't have friends out there. Not necessarily uh, for beating the competition. Something as simple as getting stuck in the mud. If you don't
Yep.
have a friend that'll come and give you that little nudge, I mean, your night could be over. And as bad as we hate to say it. Being a team sport, it pays off to have friends out there. That is definitely a
Yeah, it,
fact.
it very well does. I know there's been a couple shows that I've gone to by myself, and it's like, man, this kind of crowd is going to be interesting to see how some of this stuff plays out.
Right.
And sure enough, sometimes you get stuck in the mud and you just need that little extra oomph
Yep.
before you get knocked
Yep.
out. I
Yep.
mean, it's just one of those simple things. It's nice to have somebody be able to give you a little tap when you need it.
Yep, yep. Or if you get stuck on the wall, or it's always nice to have that person that's looking out for you, and vice versa, you looking out for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is nice to have a little backup.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when shit gets crazy. so,
Yeah.
so how many years exactly have you been running in demolition
Uh,
derby?
so first Derby year was 2015. That was actually at Delaware County back when the DC committee was
Yep.
going on.
DC, DC.
Um, it was actually your mom had got my mom interested in doing the Derby,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, hey, I want to go do it too. So I found an old Honda. I can't even remember where that old thing came from. To be honest with you, I think that's what kind of started my Honda days with it
Right.
being the first car. Uh, but we had that car, and that I don't know if you recall, but the trunk ended up in the back of the seat
Mm-hmm.
by the end time it was done with.
Yep.
Uh, I derbied with that this year. It was 15. Did it again in 16, and then I took about a 2 year break from derbying and tried my hand at racing, and found out I'm a lot better at wrecking shit than I am trying to race it.
Now I believe you about gave your mom a heart attack when you wrecked that car, and it was a pretty
Yeah.
car. Now was that
Yeah.
car was it a spitting image of your grandpa's?
Yes, it was.
Okay, okay. I figured when you said the white and green in the 98X, I remember the destroyed barrels and the wadded up car, and your mom was in tears, and but you got out and you walked it off. That an extremely hard hit.
Yes, it was. It was. Luckily, my dad built some safe race cars, and that thing it took all the abuse. It never I never even hurt the next day from it.
Yep, yep,
Kind of fortunate that I'm still walking today because that's one of those places that you have a wreck at Anderson in turn three.
yep.
Some people don't walk away from it.
Right. Especially in the opening of the on ramp, it was just brutal, brutal. But you
Yeah,
walked away from it, and that's all that really matters. Everything else can be
yeah, it was.
replaced. Even though it would take a second mortgage to replace everything on that car because it was pristine, very nice.
Yeah, only thing that was left of it that came out of it was the engine.
Mm,
It broke everything else.
yeah, yeah. So that's right on to the next. We won't accept that as being the hardest hit, but in Demolition Derby, because I don't think anything can compare to that hit. In Demolition Derby, the hardest hit you have taken, when and where and by who?
The hardest hit, and I remember every image of this one, is was back in 2021. I had that Ford, or not Ford, that Honda wagon. It was
Mm-hmm.
at Gaston. I know at it was towards the end of the show. It was after the big fire down
Mm-hmm.
there at that end. And I remember I end up nosing up against the cars that split. And I happen to look back, and the next thing I know is I see little Davies, the white of his eyes as big as could be,
Yeah.
coming right straight for the back of me. As soon as I looked, I knew I was toast. That car, that thing was straight as could be until he hit me, and it wadded everything up.
Yeah, and that was the car I believe that the sides was so beat in, it actually didn't the dash start to come out the windshield? Is that
No, that
that's
was
not the same car?
that. No, that was the car that I got off of you with the first win.
Okay. It
The wagon is the one that had the rear wheel shoved stuffed up into it that was basically in the rear passenger seat.
yeah, yeah, yep. I remember that option where you could suck the wheel in the back door. Yeah, I remember seeing
Yeah.
that now. Yeah. Man, you've taken a beating. You have taken a
Yeah.
beating.
I honestly I full heartedly believe that was probably Davy's hit that wadded that thing all the way up in there.
Right, right. A lot of people say he builds a really good car, and I'll tell you, he just knows where to hit and how to hit, and I don't believe there's any cheating involved. Our scopes haven't caught it, anyways. But man, he built some pretty stout cars, or should I
Oh, he
say, the boys. The boys built some stout cars. He said he retired, but yet the boys keep building him cars. He says so.
Oh yeah, well he got that water bill he's got to pay for, so he
The,
knows how to bring home all that money.
even the Canadians know about the water bill. So, out of Out of any other sport you could have done, why demolition derby out of everything?
And be honest with you, a lot of the Derbian is the culture. Everybody comes to have a good time. I mean, I have not left one Derby and there's not been anybody in a good, like a bad mood about it.
Right,
I mean, the competition is always great. I mean, it's kind of one of those aspects of use your imagination to be able to build something and then be able to put it fully to the test.
right,
I mean, I enjoy being able to come up with some crazy ideas that are within the rules. I mean, nothing trying to break anything, just trying to push that edge,
yep,
and it's just great. I mean, I honestly love it, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next couple of years.
yep, yep. If I was to say, what kind of rules do you prefer? More of a stock, more of a modded, and why?
I'm kind of that in between. I like that light weld, like be able to do a little bit of welding where you need it at, but it also gives you the thinking process of how can you think of making something a little bit better. With
Right.
being a stock show, you can't really do anything with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically what it is. It's stock. Stock
Right.
is stock, and at least with a welder, you can build a few things, try a few things. If that don't
Yep.
work, you go back to the drawing board.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the reasons why me and Kevin get along so well is me and him are both bouncing ideas off of each other back and forth. And sometimes we combine our ideas to make one thing better.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely has a big imagination, so to speak.
No, yeah. That's the fun of it. That's a
Yeah.
lot of the fun of it.
Yeah. Every time I hear that on SpongeBob where he goes imagination, all I see is Kevin's face every time I hear that.
Yeah, that's for sure. He has that imagination that's out there. It's like, you're really gonna try this? Okay, well, that does make sense to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he don't think outside the box. He uses the box itself as
Yeah,
well.
and everything on the outside of the box that he can get his hands on. So, a bucket list car, something before you give it up that you'd like to try to run.
Uh, well, I'm hoping in the next couple years, I would like to find me a 71 or 73 Buick Ribby.
Mm,
Them old boat tails, them make some nasty cars.
they are they're pretty hard to get their hands on. And if you do get your hands on one, they're usually a rot box. They're still out there, but you're going to have to give quite a bit of coin for it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give up some money for it. I mean, there was a couple real nasty ones at the Fort Wayne show that we went to this year at the Coliseum,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell you what, those things were built like tanks.
Yep, yep. They was they was pretty clean looking too. At least from the stands, they was pretty clean looking.
Yeah.
Um, so a little bit about the Coliseum. You've already actually your Derby season's already started.
Yep.
You've already ran the Coliseum. We went up to watch. It seemed that you was doing amazing, and then all of a sudden just dead in the water. What was it that took you out?
Axles, something that we have been fighting with for this whole year. We keep trying some different things, and we just haven't quite figured that out yet. I
Yeah.
mean, I lost one, and then the next thing I know, the second one popped. And the ass started to drag on it, and I don't know if it was just too much force trying to, and it just blew the bearings apart in it or what. But unfortunately, that's what put us out.
And that was in a Camry, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a two-door Camry.
Did you ever have problems with axles in the Hondas?
No,
No, no.
no. But the unfortunate thing about the Hondas is those knuckles.
Right, right. The steering knuckles. Yeah.
Those steering knuckles are nightmares.
Well, hell, them damn things are like that long. You know what I mean? Of course,
Yeah.
they're out there just hanging out. So I'm not a huge Camry lover. I I've had really bad luck with Camrys. So any chance that I can dog a Camry, I'm going to. It just that's just part of it. So
Yeah. I don't know. You haven't been able to find anything dog about a slug bug yet, though.
uh, other than it's just the ugliest thing ever. Once you take off like the fenders and everything, it looks like when it was fresh, it still looked like it had been derbied. Like it is just when you take the fenders off and there ain't much car there. It seems like there's just it's
No, it's
surrounded
not.
by big plastic bubble fenders. Like
Then I'll tell you what, that is the hardest car I've ever drove.
yeah, I
I
don't.
end up starting to wear a mouthpiece just because of it.
Has it actually bent the frame of it?
The right front has one little tweak in it, and we had to put a little fix-it plate on it. But other than that, it's still straight.
That's crazy. That is crazy because it's been in some pretty tough battles, and I remember a couple of people when you got stuck took turns teeing off on that thing, and to know it's not bent worse than that, that's impressive. That is
Yeah,
impressive.
I'm kind of excited, looking forward to be able to get that thing back out this year. I
Yeah,
don't know what show I'm going to take it to yet, but there's a couple of things to fix on it, and I'll be back out with it.
good deal. Good deal. If I was to say the best memory in Demolition Derby, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Probably number one thing was back in 21. That was same way with that same year at the wagon. It ended up coming down to me and Kevin going first and second. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's awesome to come down to the end with your best friend
Yeah.
just to see how the thing goes. Unfortunately, he got lucky. I broke a timing belt.
That is number two on your list because I'm going to save you an ass beating. Your best memory is you asking your wife to marry you at a derby.
Yep, that was right
We
there, right behind that one. So
we faked that something was wrong with you. We yelled at her to come over, and she comes running like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And I'm holding you up, and then all of a sudden you're down on one knee, and she's like, "Oh my God, he just fell." And no, you got on one knee to open up the box, and she
yeah.
started crying.
No, she'd been a wreck all week because she thought I was leaving her or something for some odd reason.
No,
Uh, it was funny. It all fell in like completely perfect. I mean, just the situation. You guys be able to help me out with that. I mean, it was
yep,
probably it was one of the best ones.
yep. Definitely, that's happened to me now three times where I've helped people out like that, and it's just an honor. You know, you're coming to one of my shows, and you're incorporating Junket Promotions into something special, and it's just it's an honor, and thank you for reaching out, and I'm glad we could help you out with that, and you're welcome for me
Yeah,
just saving your ass
I
from
mean, what?
not getting beat tonight because that's the best memory. Uh,
Yeah, what better way to do it? I mean, she grew up with you guys around you guys with the Derby in, and I grew up with the Derby in, and Gaston is where we met, so there was no better place to do it.
yep, yep, I agree. I agree. The best accomplishment that involves demolition derby, something that it was just a monkey on your back and you finally got it off.
Probably that first win, to be honest with you.
First win.
And to be honest with you, that car, I did not expect it at all.
Mm-hmm.
That car was running on three cylinders when I brought it,
Yep.
and to be honest with you, I was beat. Like I was giving that thing everything I had, and I could have swore Ogle Jr. was going to win that thing. I
Yep.
mean that Emery that he had still looked straight and fresh,
Mm-hmm.
and Yeah, that was the one that had the dashboard all ripped out of it from getting hit in the side from him. I mean, he hit me pretty hard with that thing,
Yep. Yep.
and I couldn't get out of my own way. That thing was just, it was wanting to give up,
Yep.
but luckily he ended up snagging something and it broke an axle, and I
I
just happened to have just enough to get another little tap in there.
Yep. I remember now that you bring that up. I remember it perfect. He had shoved you over to the corner. You was slowly creeping back, and he comes flying, just absolutely flying at you. And his front driver's side front tire catches your rear tire, and it made him jump up and do something funky, and it snapped his axles. And you was just able to back up and make the hit. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That's like so close, but yet so far away. But that's the crazy thing. You can build a car perfect, cross every T, dot every I, and go out there and something silly happens. Or, like you said, that car just absolutely ran like crap, yada yada yada, and you pulled it off. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense that you can have the best of everything and still not make it, because
Yeah.
luck is 51% of it. Everything you
Oh,
buy is only
I would give it
49%.
way more than that. I
Yeah.
think luck is like 80% of it.
Yeah, and you may be right. If luck is not on your side, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, anything can happen on this thing. A wire short out. I mean, especially with the way these front wheel drives are with all the wiring and stuff in them.
Hmm.
If you have one nick and something starts shorting out, you're kind of toast. I
Yep.
mean, there's nothing else you can do about it.
Yep. Or the as soon as the radiator usually touches the starter, it just melts all your wires. And
Yeah.
they just go up in smoke. It is something so simple, just can take you out. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could dot every T or dot every T, dot every I, cross every T. And if you don't have luck on your side, it's not going to be. So you can't force it. So,
Yeah.
let's see here. The best aftermarket part that you have bought or made. Something that you just refuse. You cannot get in another derby car unless you had it.
Be honest with you, and this is a safety thing for me. I end up, and this carries over from the racing or whatnot. I have a long acre door pad that I brought from my street stock. I put that in there between me and the door
Mm-hmm.
just to give me some kind of a cushion in case, you have that one accident of a shot.
Yep.
At least you have something between you and him.
So it's an actual pad that you can buy for racing. Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't know they
Yeah,
actually sold.
it's one of them. It's a roll bar pad, like a big old flat roll bar pad, just to keep you from busting your arm up on
Hmm.
the door bars and stuff.
Right.
And it's does wonders.
I gotcha. I gotcha. And like you said, anybody that's ever ran a derby has been hit in the driver's door at least once.
Yeah.
It just happens. The flagman can be on top of it and try to make sure that everybody does what they should do. I've seen people that was cars stacked together, and this car got hit and it shoved them into this car and laid a fat guy over in the seat.
Hmm.
You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yep.
It laid Kevin right over. It hit on his driver's side, but it was a dead car that got shoved into him. Them hurt too. Them hurt just as much as if that car would have hit his driver's door. So
Yep.
it's a dangerous sport. It definitely is, and you know it, the driver's doors, they just happen. You're playing in the mud. You're doing things with vehicles that the vehicle wasn't intended to do. The wheels get all twisted up. Sometimes I believe a couple of your cars that you was driving in. Uh, After I gave you a fist bump, I had to get the hell out of the way because the whole back of it was dog-tailing around trying to turn, and it's these cars are mangled. They don't drive straight, so
No, especially after you get a couple shows in them. I mean,
yeah,
with the way stuff is now, you use every bit of the car until it is absolutely a pile that you cannot work with no more.
yep,
You try to use every bit you got of them now.
yep. And then you just get the blue torch out and you cut them apart and start over from fresh. So,
Yep.
any parts vendors that you would suggest? Somebody that's looking to buy a couple parts. Any parts vendors that you would suggest?
GFab makes some great front bumpers. They make some good bolt together bumpers. They also make some good rear bumpers for cars. Just about anything we can go around and make for you. West Welding, they make some great stuff. I just now seen he released a 1/2 inch cradle. I'll probably end up getting one of them eventually.
Yeah,
Just not yet, but eventually, whenever I get around to it.
right.
Uh, and then we got, man, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of vendors out there that make a lot of good stuff.
Yep, yep. And it seems like every year the vendor list just grows and grows and grows. And as soon as you think you've seen it all, something else just comes and blows your mind. And you're like, you got to be kidding me.
And that is the nice thing about Derbian is the ideas that everybody comes with.
Hmm.
It's going to do the same thing,
Yep,
but this one might be a little bit better than the other one.
yep,
It's all about ideas and the design of it, and that's one of the things. That's the biggest thing I like about the Derbian
yep.
is
And
just seeing all the mind process that people have into stuff.
and to think that a lot of people look at us and they just automatically think, oh, uneducated redneck that just likes to crash cars. Some of these people could be engineers. I mean,
Oh, and I'm sure that there is some engineers out there.
it is. I just seen uh, from Spring Explosion a new spacer for Camrys. I'm sure you've seen it too. Kevin showed me this morning. Instead of the spring spacer on top, there's a spring spacer that goes from the strut.
Hmm
And it's just like that's pretty slick. That is pretty slick. So,
It's slick. I mean, it has those advantages. You ain't got to take the top out of
hmm
I mean, strut and all that stuff. But from what I seen of it, I don't know if anybody's actually tested it yet fully, just to know how if it holds or not. I mean,
right, right.
it's got the same concept. It might be a little cheaper. I mean, if it does the same thing, I mean, everyone's got their own ideas.
The first thing that come to mind was that is definitely going to be a little weaker than the spindle. So, are you going to be able to lay a tire over on a Camry without it just completely killing the spindle and
Yep.
snapping it, or bending the strut, or is that going to be a game changer? I mean,
Yeah, it very well could be. I mean, there's always got to be a weak link. If you
yep,
start making stuff stronger, it's got to give somewhere
yep,
else.
yep. It just goes down the line just to the next part.
Yep.
That's just where, yeah,
As long as it can bend and not break, you shouldn't have any issues.
right, right. All right. What is the worst aftermarket part that you have attempted to build yourself that just was just no good? Like it just did not work. It was a total disaster.
I'm sure you already know where I'm going to go with this one. The little itty bitty motorcycle radiator.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I thought in my head, if I can get a radiator small enough that can still keep that engine cool,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be all right. Well, I showed up with that little motorcycle radiator so it
Yep.
wouldn't get busted. And ever since then, you give me jokes about bringing in little computer radiators and stuff like that.
I've got a fan that cools my CPU that was bigger than the fan that was on that motorcycle radiator. It was a tiny thing, but hey, for the longest time, it done its job. But as soon as it started getting hot, it just could not keep up. After that, it went straight
I
downhill.
mean, the mind process I had behind it is I know some people loop them,
Hmm.
some people run radiators. It's like, well, I mean, if this thing gives me enough, at least it kind of cools it off instead of just doing a full loop.
Right.
It was an idea. It just didn't work out the way I thought it was going
Yep.
to.
I'm a firm believer, that hot water is better than no water.
Exactly.
I mean, it is. So I don't necessarily like the whole idea of them guys just looping the motors, but the Camrys take it, and they just, I mean, they got little relief valves in them and whatnot, and the Camrys
Mhm.
just take it. I don't understand. Everybody is abusing them motors, and we junk 3 and 2 shows. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. So
Yeah, I mean, those things there, you can give them a licking and they keep on ticking. I mean, it's just the same way with the Hondas. I mean, those things, whatever it is about them four cylinders, those things will
yeah,
take the heat. They will run until they melt.
yeah. And about the only problems you had out of Hondas was burning the trannies up, wasn't it?
I've only burned up one, but that
Was it
was
only
because I
one?
got stuck in a corner situation. Uh, that was the only transmission I burned up in one of those things. It
I
was
got you.
always with the knuckles.
I got you. I
But
remember.
I mean, I literally there was a show at Richmond that I watched. A dude had a Honda, and he had the thing so hot it was glowing, and
Yeah.
it was still running.
Mm, that's crazy. That is crazy. If only we could get a 3100 to run that hot. That would be nice.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get that lucky.
No, yeah, we have a little saying. Once you bust the radiator, you got about 10, 15 minutes, and she's gonna shut off. So
Yep.
you got to get it done after that. All right. Well, this is kind of a silly question with the title being the 2024 Mad Dog winner and 2024 Junket Mini champion. What kind of driver are you? Slow and easy? Or are you just a mad dog?
Well, I think our buddy B White gave it the best explanation after Gaston. He called me the Jackal and Hyde.
Okay.
The I mean, it all depends on the day. I mean, that Gaston show. Once I found out and did some calculating and I had the championship for the minis, that was just one of those like, let's go for old times. I
Yeah.
mean, used to when I first started out, it was all about making some big hits,
Hmm.
go out, have some fun, and just wreak havoc.
Right.
And I hadn't done that in years.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know what? Let me do some figuring. I figured out who all the other Reapers were, how everybody else had Reapers, and I had it in my head. I needed at least two.
Yep.
I needed at least two to be able to take that title home with me.
Yep. Yep.
So the first one with the Junket versus the World situation,
Damn you,
that was
Nick.
just
Damn you, Nick.
hey, he threw money out. I like money.
I remember one of our tech guys, Mikey, got out and his nose was bleeding, and he was like, "I'll be damned. I ain't never had a bloody nose, and I get a bloody nose in a gut and go car." Oh man, we come home and we watched that, and it was just like, oh my god, like you was killing it, and it was just a stock Impala. Uh,
Yeah, it was actually a stock. I think it was like a '06 police car is what it
mm-hmm,
was. What it used or what it used to be.
right.
Uh, I I got lucky. I was looking for that car for the World Show, and Mike Worrell had messaged Kevin. It's like, hey, I got one that don't run, but I'm guessing it's a fuel pump.
Yeah.
So I got to digging around in it. We went and picked it up. and a mouse had chewed the fuel pump wires off of it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I guess the kids had used that thing as just a toy, just to run around the yard and everything, and it finally wouldn't run one day.
Right,
So they were going to scrap it, and I was like, "Hey, let me rent that thing."
right.
Luckily, Mike's a great guy. He let me rent the car, and then we went and wrecked some havoc with it.
Oh my God! And the back of that thing was stupid hard, just absolutely
Oh, it
stupid
was.
hard.
And
It.
I didn't quite realize how fast I was going until I started watching the video.
Yeah, yeah. You junked quite a bit of the junket side with that car. Yeah, we're probably gonna outlaw them next year or this year for the junket show. No police package Impalas. Making that statement now. Oh, oh well. Back to what kind of driver? Slow and easy, or a mad dog? We kind of got off on a sidebar there.
Man, it's hard to choose. I mean, it's nice to be able to make it in the top, but it's also nice to be able to wreak havoc.
Yep, yep.
It's so hard to pick. I mean, honestly, a lot of it depends on the how the beginning of the show goes.
Hmm.
I mean, I like to think of let's make some money, let's get in the top
Yep,
three, we'll go from there. But then again, it's a whole lot more fun just to be able to
yep,
wreak havoc.
yep. Cashing checks is nice, but breaking necks is even funner.
Yeah.
You just it's always nice to get a little bit back. Man, it is really nice watching someone disappear because you just teed off on them and you're like, yep, he's gonna fill that tomorrow. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and like I said before, it usually don't go hand in hand with winning and being a Reaper Award or a Mad Dog. Uh, Somehow last year you pulled it off, and it's remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, it was last year. Last year was kind of a mixed year. I mean, I started off with that bug at the first show at Peru. Got a little upset with how stuff got handled that way, that derby, and Kevin was like, "Hey, I'm tired of you getting picked on in that bug.
Hmm.
Let's just get you in one of my cars and let's go have some fun."
Right,
So we put that thing together, and it just depended on how the show started. I mean,
right.
there was some shots that needed to be taken care of to register to some people, and
Yep.
everything's all good now. I mean, it's just part of derbying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you best believe it. If you whack me this year, I'm not forgetting about it until I whack you back. It's just,
Yeah.
and it's not like I'm mad at you or I want to fight you or
No.
anything, but I owe you one, and
Yep.
we're not even until I give it to you. So that's how I always was, and it is what it is. As long
Oh
as
yeah.
as long as people don't take it personal, you're out there crashing cars.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Don't get upset. Get out, shake hands. You got me this time. I'll get you next time. And
That is the way it goes.
yep, yep. That's the way it should go, anyways, for the most part.
This is very true.
We are going to take some comments and questions. Uh, I see that one big ass Target guy, known as the Grizz. He's in here. Stephen Hargis says, "When are you going to go to full size?" Oh boy.
uh Man, I hope in the next couple of years. I'm really looking forward to it. I still got that street stock motor.
Oh
We
my
got to get
lord.
it. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
lord.
what's going to be in the car.
Yeah, yeah. That would get the job done. Most definitely.
So it's a matter of just getting some parts rounded up. I know a guy that's got some stuff laying around, but we just got to see where stuff flows and see where we get.
Yeah. It seems to me too. Me being a full size guy, when I was running, and then switching to my kids running front wheel drives, it's probably still a little cheaper to run front wheel drives. But as far as the derby parts and radiators and everything that's uh, come to light for the front wheel drive, it's not a huge difference in cash. It really is
Yeah,
not. Um,
just bigger parts is all it is.
Bigger parts, and it seems you get, well, not always, but you get more runs out of a bigger car
That
uh,
is true.
because it actually has a frame underneath it. You can manipulate it, pull it back down and re-weld it here and whatnot. These front wheel drive cars, when the trunk's gone, the trunk's gone. Like you can pull it back out, but it's just an accordion, and as soon as it hits a June bug, it's coming back in. Like it's
Yeah. The when the trunk's gone is when the best part. That's when it gets hard.
yeah, well, anyway, and then it blows your wheels out to the side or shoves them up into the door, and somehow you was dragging that thing around still, and I don't understand how, but I think it all had to do with the rims you built. Um,
Yeah.
and yours was probably, I had seen some people flirt around with that idea, but no one went to the extreme that I seen. You did a full center, and then where the actual rubber goes, you actually filled that in with strap metal. It was like a solid donut that couldn't go flat, and it was just enough to keep you up off the ground. And when them wheels got shoved into your back doors and would no longer turn, the curvature of them, it become a ski. It just
Yep.
it just slid around. Then it was. I think if you would have had any other wheel on the back, you would have probably been counted out long before.
No,
Um,
most likely.
you would have been
I
dragging
mean,
real hard. But them things act like skis, and it just worked out perfect.
yeah, that was one of those ideas that I had. I mean, yeah, seen Austin Whitaker. He end up he just put banded just a wheel,
Hmm.
and that's what kind of brought my idea. Is like, you know what? Let's just find out the right height of a donut, and then I had a friend Todd Neal over at Neal Fab. He cut me out some rings, and I built those wheels just thinking, all right, this is not going to go flat. It's going to keep it off the ground best I can. The only bad thing is them things are heavy.
Right, right. And it has to be heavy. For one, like I said, they got packed into the rear doors. Are they still round?
Yeah, yeah, they're
So
all quarter inch.
yeah, so they could be put on a car and repainted and look fresh.
Yes.
So yeah, they have to be pretty heavy then.
The only thing I like one of them, whenever it got laid over, it kind of bent the wheel center a little bit, so it's got a little bit of a wobble to it, but
I got
it
you.
ain't too terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's understandable. The hell that you've put them through, that they still bolt up, is remarkable on its own. So, uh, let's see here. One big ass target said, "Nope, I have two for use." Dalton, I don't know what he's talking about. He must have been. Can you elaborate a little bit, Kevin? Two for us? Are you talking about Camrys?
Oh, I think he's talking about the Buicks. He's got a connection with a couple of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen. I've heard him talking about them. Uh, I didn't know he actually got the deal done and got them bought. The dovetail rivvies. Yeah, it's so far behind. It's he'll
Yeah.
answer it once we quit the podcast, and 20 minutes later he'll be answering it then. So, um, if you had any words for newcomers that was coming into the sport, um, brand new greenhorn, wet behind the ears, what are some words of advice that you could give them? Something that maybe was a hurdle for you uh, getting into it, whether it be nerves or preparation. Just any words of advice to make it easier on the next generation coming in.
Best thing I can say is never give up.
Never give up.
That
Yep.
is one thing that I learned from my mother. She battled breast cancer and she never gave up.
Mhm.
She's still here today with us. So that's always been in my head.
Yep.
No matter the outcome of you're in that derby, you don't give up till they count you out.
Yep. Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I've pulled off at least a third or a second place out of just not breaking my stick off immediately.
Yep. Yep.
There's been it was just like at the Coliseum. I got eighth just because I didn't break my stick off.
Yep.
It's just one of those things. There's been a couple. I remember to this day it was Delaware County, and uh, I just happened to be. We were down to I think it was Tank Smith, Davey, myself, and if I remember right, I think it was Ryan Kiger. And coming down to the fourth of this, I got stuck over against the dirt mound, and I didn't break my stick off just yet. And then end up Ryan Kiger got stuck just shortly after I did, and he ended up just breaking his stick off.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things. You just don't ever give up.
Yep. Yep. And I see it a lot in the youth class too. Uh, as soon as they get stuck or something breaks, they just want to reach up and break their stick. Uh, we've had it come down to where you either finish in the money or you're not in the money. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it all depends on can you stay calm until one of them officials tells you to break off.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it's a learning experience. And when it costs you that $200 or $300 for third or fourth place, it tends to stick with you a little bit. And you're like, wait a minute, I am not going to do that. Now we have kids that when they get stuck, they want to look down on the floorboard. And even when we're trying to break them off, they're still looking at the floorboard like, nope, I got extra time. I got extra time. Well, when your
Yeah.
time's up, your time is up. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, doing that, you sometimes get licked when you're not expecting it.
yeah, them are the ones you don't see coming, and them seem to leave their mark. Uh, but to talk about your mom surviving breast cancer, one of the and she's a jokester. She has a shirt that says, and it's real big on the chest. It says, "Yeah, they're fake. The real ones try to kill me."
Yeah.
I lost it when I seen that. I was like, "Who the hell makes a shirt like that?" Like, but yeah, she beat it, and she's doing well. Um, the rest of the family's doing well. I'm hoping. I don't get to see you guys a
Mhm.
whole lot, as much as I'd like, but we got another comment come in. Robert Songer, would you run a stock gut and go or have a would you run a stock gut and go or have you besides junket versus the world? Oh, have you ever ran a stock gut and go besides junket versus the world?
Yeah, that's honestly what it started out with. I mean, that first old Honda that I had, it was basically stock as you could be. If I remember right, you couldn't even change the bumpers back then, and it had that plastic bumper on
Yeah,
the front of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was it was a true gut and go. Pretty much knocked the windows out. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you have to put it was something to do with the fuel. You ran the heat, uh, and something went bad with the fuel regulator or something. You ran to the parts store to get
No, it was the main relay.
Was it a
main
relay?
relay on those. Yep, the main relay on those controls the fuel pump and all that kind of stuff.
And you end up buying, I believe, two of them. You went back to the consi. You made it out of the consi, and when you was back there working on it, and they was calling for the feature, you went to start it up, and the second one had went bad. But you bought two, and you guys swapped it out
Yep,
and went out.
yep.
What luck? Who buys two of something when they go to the parts store? What luck?
It's just
That
one of those things.
I would have never have thought to buy two. Yeah, yeah. This is a brand new one. It's not gonna go bad, but you
You
bought
just
two.
never know. I had that feeling that day. It's like, you know what, this one went bad. So you just never know.
Right. Yeah. What luck? What luck? Now, is there uh is there any truth to Little Man possibly going to be running this season?
Well, I hope that he can.
Yeah.
That is the side if he gets his act together.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of those things, is like I told him, do good in school, do good at home, and we'll get you in a car.
Yep.
He's been kind of flirting with that edge here lately, so
Yep.
he's got to earn it. It's not going to be one of those that's going to be given to him.
Right. Yep. Yep. I think we all have times where we get off the straight and narrow and need a little knot jerked in our ass to straighten us up. But I'll tell you, Demolition Derby has been a big part of my life, and it is who I am, why I am the way I am today, and it's kept me out of trouble. Um,
Yeah,
you look at a lot of people I hung out with in high school, not all of them, but there's a few of them that are not so proud of where they're at now, and Demolition Derby kept me off the streets. It's just where my heart was when everybody else is out doing hood rat stuff. I wanted to be stripping a derby car and getting ready for the next one. So, in a way, it saved me. So,
yeah. I mean that adrenaline rush is more than any other drug that you can. I mean,
yep,
you can't compare to anything.
yep. If you could bottle the adrenaline up and put it in a cigarette or something like, you'd be a rich man. It'd be the
So
best
yeah,
drug in the world. Best drug in the world. There's no high like crashing cars. As
yeah.
stupid as that sound, there is no high like it. So, all right, buddy, we
I mean,
like
it's the
to
only time you can use the vehicle and just crash into somebody, not
and
without getting in trouble.
and not have to pay a higher premium on your insurance. You know, like
Yep.
that's awesome. That is awesome. We like to keep these things right at an hour. We got 3 minutes. Oh, I just got another comment. How about the rage racing? Have you done that? And is it fun? Now I've got
Oh,
a
the rage racing is fun.
he's
It is fun.
he's done quite a few rage racing, and well, the last one that you won, uh, I believe.
That was sheer. That goes back to the sheer luck.
hmm So it was over in Marion when we was running the swamp ash track, and it was muddy, 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 muddy. You had a broken tie rod, uh, and I believe you come over the hill. The car turned, and you was stuck. You could
Yep.
not go forward, could not go backwards. Danny Sexton had it wrapped up, and this was last car standing. Danny Sexton had it wrapped up. He'd done a couple laps, and then he thought, "Oh, I'm just gonna punish you. You're sitting right there." And he drove over the hill on top of you a few times. Uh,
Yeah, he
and
did.
and he was getting all riled up, and he was just beating the shit out of your car and missed the tire. And I
Yep.
said before it ever started, anybody that doesn't make the lap around a tire, you're automatically disqualified. And you should have
Yep.
seen his face as he was coming around. I went, and he was just like, "Shit, I forgot the tire. I forgot the tire." Just by the skin of your teeth, you pulled that one off.
Yeah.
So he's done his fair share of rage racing. Yeah, he enjoys it. He's not too bad at it actually. So Other than that, buddy, that's all I have for you tonight. Uh, we'll give you the last word. Shout out to anybody.
I'd like to thank Kevin Ravenstein with GFAB, giving me cars. I mean, that guy there's trusted me to drive his equipment for the last year and a half. I appreciate everything he does for me. West Welding, everything that we've needed to be cut, CNC machine, something built, he's always been there for us. Wally Graphics, he makes some great roof signs, any kind of door skins that you need. He's probably one of the best around here. Like thank Todd Neil Fab. He's been great to us, being able to cut anything out that we need when there's a jam. Like thank Mike Worrell. He's given me cars before that just to go out to have some fun. He's helped us out a bunch. McAfee Recycling. They always help us. They take care of us whenever we go to bring them what's left of it.
Yeah,
Our buddy B White, All Out Paint, does great jobs. The graffiti and everything else coming from Cali, he's starting to fit in just fine.
starting to fit in just
Uh,
fine.
QS Components, they give us products and mounts and different kind of stuff that we need. They always help out. And then I just want to give it like an honorable mention at the Coliseum. Harley Davidson of Fort Wayne, they came on board with us. And that's not one of those things that you hear about very often. I
No.
just wanted to just something to say thank you. I mean, they
Yep.
came on board. We had a friend of ours up there. She talked to a manager, and he supported every bit of it. And I just wanted to thank him. And then, last but not least, thank you guys for anything at the Burgess Boys Garage. You guys have helped us out. You
Yep.
guys gave us a place to build a couple cars this off season, so
Hey, you can lean against me and I'll lean against you, so we ain't got to sleep with our heads in the mud.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Hey, until next time, you all be safe, be kind to one another,